All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. Good morning, Anthony. Let's see. We're going to take just a few moments and let more folks at home come in and join us. So I hope everyone's having a good day so far. It is gorgeous out today, so I'm having a good day. Let's see. Oh, hello, Isaac. Let's see. We have some awesome stuff coming up at the Great Lakes Science Center. Make sure you check our website, greatscience.com, for more information about our last couple weeks of camp this summer and also about our brand new learning lab that we will be launching. So all that information is on our website. Make sure you check that out. So I think it's been enough time. So good morning, everyone. My name is Joy. I'm a guest engagement specialist at the Great Lakes Science Center, and I'm coming to you live from the Great Lakes Science Center. And today we are going to look at some really cool science experiments that you can do at home with something simple like a balloon. Now, here's the thing. Here at GLSC, we have all sorts of special tools and materials that help us do the science experiments that we do all the time. And, you know, some of you might have access to some of these tools at home, maybe some of you at school, maybe some of you come in to the Science Center and you get to experience some of our really cool experiments. Oh, good morning, Mirage Cinemas. Welcome. Now, you can do really cool science experiments with stuff at home, which is what we're going to look at today. So I'm going to be focusing on the balloon. Now, I really hope you have all seen a balloon before. If you have not, this is a balloon. It's very stretchy. This one happens to be purple. But I wonder what sort of science we can learn about with this. So I'm going to go ahead and inflate this balloon and tie it off. Now, if I were to just hold this balloon up and just kind of spin it around, nothing exciting. If I were to spin it a lot and then just kind of put it down, kind of sits there and then falls over. Nothing cool. But I wonder what happens if we add stuff to the balloons. So I have here a balloon that I inflated before I went live. And in here, I have a little penny. That's what that little dot right there it is. That just fell. That's what that little dot is. Oh my gosh, I cannot find anything backwards or forwards. All right, so there is this little penny in there. So I want you to think about what might happen to this penny if I start spinning this balloon. Is it going to spin? Is it going to bounce around like crazy? Let's find out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it really fast, and you're going to want to watch the balloon really closely. It's kind of tricky to see, but I'm going to pop the balloon is what I'm going to do. Luckily, I have other balloons. That's the thing with science. Sometimes balloons pop, and you learn about trial and error. So there's a penny in the balloon. Now I'm going to inflate a balloon. And if I spin it really fast, you notice it's not really making much of a noise. You can kind of see a shadow passing back and forth. Now what's happening is the penny is following the circular path of the balloon, and it is subject to something called centripetal force. If you kind of see that little shadow making its way across, there it goes. And what's really cool is you know there's a force going on in there, because remember what happened when I put my balloon down before, it just kind of sat there and then fell over. If I get this all spinny, woo, it goes crazy and starts like rolling everywhere and falling off the table and pops again. I just get really excited about balloons. It's fine. But we can try this with something else. So in this balloon, I have a hex nut. Hex nuts look like this. They have a bunch of little corners and sides. Now, let's see what happens if I spin this. I think it might pop. I don't know. But if we spin this, you hear that sound? It makes all sorts of crazy noises. Now, what's happening is you can kind of see the hex nut bouncing around in there. But that hex nut is also subject to centripetal force. It's going in a circular path because that's the physical path that's given to it by the shape of the balloon. And then it rolls around and around and around until friction slows it down and gravity pulls it down to the bottom of the balloon right there. But the reason why the sound happens is because if you look at a hex nut, there's all these little corners, but the sides themselves are pretty smooth. So the corners are bouncing off of the sides of the balloon, and then the really smooth sides are vibrating against the interior wall of the balloon. Now, sound is a vibration. So because there's that vibration, you get, there we go. You get that super fun noise. And here's the really cool part. This works for different hex nuts. So I also have this balloon that has a little baby hex nut in there. You can kind of see it in there. Has a little baby hex nut. And this one makes a different noise. So already with balloons and hex nuts and pennies, we have learned about friction, sound, vibrations, gravity, and balloons popping. So more sound. Now, we can also learn about static electricity with the balloon. So my friend Jared already kind of touched on this on Tuesday, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth. I have here another balloon, and I'm going to go ahead and charge it up on last year's ugly holiday sweater. And what I'm doing is I'm creating an imbalance of charge. And charges want to be balanced. And because charges want to be balanced, I can do this. Whoop. And I can make those little packing peanuts fly out of my hand. And this happens for a couple of reasons. One being, remember, I was creating an imbalance of charge. Opposite charges attract, like charges repel. So the packing peanuts and the balloon do not have the same charge. So they fly right up. And also they fly because gravity is really, really weak. So the packing peanuts just go straight up in the air. Now, if you notice, I'm generating static electricity in my hand with the balloon in my hand, but I'm not getting zapped on this side. And the reason why that happens is because of the balloon. Now, the balloon itself is made out of rubber, which is a really good insulator. And an insulator is a material that does not allow electricity to flow through easily. So there's charge, but it can't travel all the way over here. So you saw what happened on this side of the balloon. If I were to try to pick up packing peanuts, it would be like, nope, not. I mean, I have to kind of like shove them on there. But yeah, they're not really flying up there because there's not enough charge. And another really cool thing that I can do with static involves a nifty little can. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up my balloon again. Lots of charge. Same principle, static electricity, opposites attract, like charges repelling. I can do, let's see this. Come here, can. Come on, can. Good, can. I can make the can roll towards my balloon. Notice I'm not touching it. It's just coming because my balloon has a lot of charge. So that is really, really cool. Now, already we have used balloons to learn about gravity, friction, centripetal force, sound, vibrations, and now static electricity. But I wonder what else we could learn about using balloons. So let's see if we can learn about forces in general. So if I were to, oh my gosh, I have so many balloons to choose from. So what do you think will happen if I blow up this balloon and then just let it go? So I'm going to blow up the balloon. What do you think will happen if I just let it go fly? Do you think it's just going to fall down? Will it go everywhere? Will it make funny noises? Any of the above? I don't know. So let's find out what will happen if I release this balloon. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. So to answer that question, it went flying and it made funny noises. Also, I have a fun spinny chair that has wheels. Anthony, you are absolutely right. It will fly, and it did fly. Now, the reason why it flies is because of Newton's third law of motion. So Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when I blow up this balloon, I have a whole bunch of air in there now. So when I let go of this balloon, the air is going to rush out this little neck. So when I held it up, the air came rushing down. So the reaction force pushed the balloon up, and then it just went all over the place and went flying and made funny noises because this is vibrating and sound is a vibration. Bringing it back to the hex nut experiment. But I wonder what'll happen if I give it somewhere to go. So it's kind of hard to tell on this monitor, but there's a giant string above my head right here. You can probably see the yellow straw scooting back and forth. This is a very long string. And I want to see if I give my balloon somewhere to go, what'll happen. Because normally if I just throw a balloon, it kind of stops and then just falls because of friction in the air. But I'm going to string it up on this rocket track and just see what happens. Now, what I did was I have a string taped to both sides of the room that I'm in, and I made sure that the string was pulled super tight and that it was very securely taped so that way it won't fall down. And then before I taped it, I put a little straw on the string, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow the balloon to fly without too much friction. So I'm going to go ahead and inflate a balloon because we need lots of air to rush out in order to have a lot of force pushing it forward. All right. And then I'm just going to tape my balloon to my straw like so. And we're going to see what happens when I let go. So are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Woo! You can't see this, but the balloon went all the way over there. So far that I had to leave the frame to retrieve it because a lot of air came rushing out, which was able to push the balloon forward. But I want to see if I can try this with another balloon because I'm curious to see what'll happen. I have this little balloon. It's a little water balloon that I inflated with some air. So it has less air, but it's probably a little bit lighter. So what do you think? Will it fly as far? Will it fly farther? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and tape it up there. Nice and secure. We're going to see what difference a tiny balloon makes. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Not bad. Not bad at all. So this didn't fly quite as far. As you can see, I had to go get it. I'm still kind of here. Hello. So the more air I had, the more air was released, which got a bigger reaction force pushing it forward. So that's why the balloon that was this big went all the way to the other side of the room. That has a hole in it. And the balloon that was tiny kind of went here, where you can still see me. And just because it's fun, we're going to do one more big balloon. So yeah, you can try this at home as long as you have string, a straw, and balloons. And it's really, really fun. Just saying. So far, today we learned so much about all the things we can learn about science with balloons, whether it's friction or gravity or sound, vibrations, Newton's laws, or just tried a good old experiment using our observation and, making balloon rockets. Oh, I almost hit the wall that time. That was fun. And that leads me to your challenge for today, which is to design your own balloon science experiments at home. So you can try any of the ones that I showed you or see what you can come up with. Is there a question that you've always wanted to know the answer to that you think you can answer with the balloon? Or you could do what I did with the balloon rockets and try different sizes of balloons just to see, hey, which one works better? You would be surprised what you can discover just using simple household objects. Now, I think this is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun experimenting with balloons. I don't know about you, but no matter what you experiment with, we want to see what you come up with. So make sure you take photos of your experiments or videos. Share them with us on social media. Tag us. Use our hashtag StayCuriousCLE. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. And then once you are done with all of that, make sure you clean up all of your balloons, as I'm about to do, because I, popped like 3 of them at the beginning of the episode. And then wash your hands and put all of your materials away. And then you can get excited for our next all-new episode of Curiosity Corner Live. So tomorrow, Andy and I are going to bring you some really explosive experiments that you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you check back in tomorrow morning at 10:30. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already done so. So I don't know about you. I have had so much fun doing all these experiments with you. So now it's your turn to get experimenting. Always make sure you're having fun. And until next time, stay curious.